All right, guys. Hey guys, my name is Ross, and welcome to 7-3 Bodyweight Blast. The 7 and the 3, what does it stand for? The 7 is squat, lunge, push, pull, bend, twist, and gait. What are those? Those are the fundamental human movements. Those are our foundational movements. When we train in those movements, like squatting, pulling, these movements make us strong. And the last one, gait, which is ambulation, walking, running, this is cardio. This makes us fit. Now, the 3 stands for the 3 planes of motion: sagittal, frontal, and transverse. Being aware of these planes of motion, I think we're better able to fine-tune our movement. And if you're looking for a if you're looking for a workout that explores movement, that has a variety of movement, then it's good to bear the 3 planes of motion in mind. But typically we group 2 movements together, an upper movement and a lower movement. The reason for that is while the upper part of the body is resting, the lower body is working, which is a little bit more conducive to strength. Now, strength is typically lower repetitions, 5 to 8. And for those of you that are already pretty strong, you're probably going to have to do the one limb movements like one arm push-up or one leg squat. Just a word of advice: training to failure just elevates the risk of injury. My advice is to, if possible, to try and not go to failure. Try and pull back just before failure. And certainly on a day if you don't want to go anywhere near failure, that's also fine. But constantly training to failure, there is a risk of injury. Now, for beginners, if this is you starting out on a brand new exercise adventure, just go easy. Enjoy it. Just have fun. You've got plenty of time to ramp up to high intensity. And as far as breathing, we need to talk a little bit about that. Just breathe normally. Now, a lot of the bodybuilders, the way they breathe is to exhale on the movement of most exertion. So, for example, a bicep curl. Breathe in on the way down, exhale on the way up. A squat. Breathe in on the way down and exhale on the way up. If you would like to do it that way, that's absolutely fine. Now, it's very natural for human beings to hold their breath when doing something that is very difficult in terms of physical exertion. That's very natural. In fact, the air pressure that you're holding is protecting the lower back. Powerlifters use this technique. It's called the Valsalva technique. Now, if you want to do that in class for certain movements, that's fine. Just a word of warning, though. For those of you that have high blood pressure, I would clear this first with your doctor. In fact, if you're a beginner, or if you haven't exercised for a very long period of time, it would be a good idea to go see your doctor and just get a checkup and chat to them and talk to your doctor about what you plan to do as far as exercise. All right, guys, we are about ready to roll, and we're going to start off with a warm-up. Hey guys, we are about to warm up, but just before we do that, let's take a look at equipment. You'll see I'm wearing gloves. These are workman's gloves. There's a rough feel on the inside, the palm and the bottom of the fingers. There's no padding. Very comfortable, and if you're training outside on, say, pavement, this is handy. Also, even in a class environment, this gives you a lot of grip when you're on your hands at different kinds of planks and stuff like that. Now, in a class environment, typically all you need is comfortable clothes to work out in and maybe a yoga mat. And you can bring some gloves if you'd like to. What else do I use? Well, we've got the equalizer right here, yoga mat. If you train in an outside urban environment, there's some noise, leaf blowers, handy to have some noise reduction headphones. We've got yoga mat and yoga blocks. These are gliders. We'll get into that later. Once again, if you're outside and there's wind blowing, you can use your sunglasses, or alternatively, just an eye visor to stop dust getting in your eyes. Now, very important, you'll see I have these plates. Now, this is very important. Some people are a little tight on the ankle, on the Achilles tendon. And when they squat down, their heels come off the ground. So, it's pretty handy to have some blocks or some little plates where you can pop that underneath your heel, come down. That way you can engage the heel. The foot is flat. You'll find some people have flat feet. Their feet roll inwards. If you put some blocks or these plates underneath the heel, very often that helps with that problem. So, you can get blocks at a store, little wooden blocks. You can even use 2 books at home that are the same height. All right. Having said that, let us warm up. All right, we're going to come down, touch the ground. Try and keep your feet about hip width apart. Okay, don't let the knees roll in. Try and keep this distance the same. Once again, use the blocks if you need to. Come down. You can just come down to where it's comfortable. Right here, side of the shin, ankle, or the ground. All right. I like to touch the ground. Here we're in sagittal plane. And I like to keep my chin tucked. So I'm not looking up. I'm actually looking down at the bottom. Try and get, if possible, try and get the thigh parallel with the ground. Good, and then we're going to do knee raises, still in the sagittal plane. In this workout, we're going to try and warm up in all 3 planes of motion. So I'm actually moving my arm, opposite arm to knee, across the body. This is transverse plane. So we've got a little bit of a twist going. This is very natural for the human body. When we run and walk, we're twisting. Very good, and just a gentle butt kick. Still in sagittal. Get a little bit of arm movement. Now, if you wanted to change the plane of motion, you can do an elbow lift. And so the arms are actually going in frontal plane, and the legs are in sagittal. Just breathe easy. Good, right here, arm circles. We'll go forward first, and then backwards. You can go across the body, transverse plane, sagittal plane. And you can even get this in a plie. From here, calf raise. So frontal plane on the arms will be right here. I'm just going to adjust for the cameras. So we'll be frontal plane with the arms, and with the feet, sagittal plane. So right here. Very good. And from here, we can squat. Now, if you need to use blocks for this, you can. Come down. You be right here. You can get onto the ground. And you be in a plank. I'll just move these out of the way so you can see me. This is warming up the upper body. And if you want to get a baby push-up, nice and easy. Don't lock out too hard. You're holding the plank, just a micro bend in the elbow. And if you want to get some pulses, nice and easy, just warming up the upper body. Try not to have the elbows out, have them facing about 45. So instead of here, you want down somewhat. We're warming up the upper body, right here. Good. Get a twist. So here you want to think about the jaws of the ribs coming in somewhat. So the awareness is here. It's not a big movement. And overhead, side to side. Once again, keep the awareness here. Elbow comes close to the body. And now we'll do our knee raise, but slightly to the side. Right there. Very good. You can open the chest, arch the back, slight bend in the knee coming over to where it's comfortable. Squeeze the lower back. Squeeze the back muscles together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. Now another good way to warm up the back. Knees up. Okay, don't arch the back, knees up and side to side. I like to elevate my head to engage my core. If you want to warm up the hammies, slight bend in the knee. Keep the distance between the knees the same. Hands for stability. Lift up. Once again, I elevate my head. You can put the head down, put it on a block. I like to put it up so I engage the core. Warming up these hamstrings. Very good. All right, warm up done. All right, guys, cardio interval 1. We're going to have 2 movements together, 30 seconds of one, followed by 30 seconds of the other, and then you can do 15 seconds or 20 seconds rest. Now, if you want to amend those times, that's absolutely fine. And in the break, before you go to cardio interval 2, if you want to actually just keep moving, if you're already pretty fit and you want to keep moving, certainly you can, whatever you want to do. All right, first grouping is the cat squat, okay, into the regular squat. So what we're doing in these cardio intervals, we're starting with the difficult version of the movement, moving into an easy version so that you can keep going through and get to the end of the 30 seconds. Now, everyone's on different levels, so what's difficult for one person might be impossible for another person. So just pick your level. So, for me, what I like to do is the cat squat, coming down, right here, catch, and I keep going until I get tired. And then I move into the regular squat. What are some other options? You could do pistol squat, say one on one side, move to the other. And then when you get tired, doing single leg, you do double leg. You can do a wider squat. Keep going, 30 seconds. When 30 seconds is up, flip to the hip lift to abdominal twist. So, starting out with a difficult version to the easy version. Hard version. And if I get tired, abdominal twist. This is a little easier for me. If I get tired, I can bring the feet in, or I can just do a smaller movement. How do I make it harder? Well, this could be faster. Boom, explode out. Boom, slow down. Boom, fast. All right. Now, another variation could be, instead of the hip lift, that's the pulling hip lift. Okay, you can do the equalizer right here. And this is going to tire me out. And eventually from there, I go to the abdominal twist. All right. Go for it, guys. Cardio intervals 2. That's going to be push-up and swimming freestyle. So, once again, starting with the movement that is most difficult, moving to the easier version so that you can complete 30 seconds. So, you can do one arm push-up right here. Moving to the regular push-up right here. When it gets difficult, I can just hold. Slight bend in the elbow. Okay, don't sink. The jaws of the ribs should be closed, or should be gently pushed in. Okay, so from here, I can also get a baby push-up. I can do a half push-up, baby push-up. I can even come down onto the knees and keep going. Right here. I can do variations with the equalizer, of course, with feet up, right here. You can do push-up against the wall. That's even easier. Now, swimming freestyle is going to look like this. I like to alternate which side I look. Like freestyle, in the water, 30 seconds. How do you make it harder? Go faster. Now, if it starts to hurt the lower back, well, you can always come up and rest and then go back down. You can actually bend the knee a little bit more. Let the legs take a lot of the weight. Keep the feet close together. Hip width apart, maybe even a little bit closer. So you've got space for the arms. I would have the chest open, back straight, slightly arched, chin tucked, looking straight down. Start off with a slight bend. Later on, you can always bend a little bit more. All right, guys. All right, guys, cardio intervals 3. This is going to be the Russian twist or the seated twist with swimming breaststroke. So, like we did in the last one, open the chest, slight arch in the lower back, looking straight at the ground, slight bend in the knee, and you're doing breaststroke. Don't look up. Can sometimes strain the neck. Now, if doing this for 30 seconds gets tiring, you can just go slower, or you can just hold, or you can change it to backstroke. And then go back to breaststroke. Okay? And now seated twist. I like to do it this way, just a light twist. Actually, it's a good twist. This is transverse plane, right here. Now, if this is difficult, you can just put the feet down. I'm leaning slightly backwards, so I've got a bit of engagement. Okay, if you don't want that much engagement, sit up a little higher. I wouldn't really be arched. I would be, if anything, slightly rounded, so you get it in the abs. And here you can just do a gentle twist. All right, now variation of that seated twist. There's a couple of them. You could do this. You might even reach forward, do a bigger movement. All right, guys, enjoy. All right, guys, cardio intervals 4. This is going to be the handstand push-up into the jumping lunge or stepping back lunge. Let's take a look at the lunge. So, you can either do the jumping variation. So you're here, you jump, land. You'll notice I'm landing nice and soft. You don't want to pound the body. Nice and easy. Now, alternatively, you can just do stepping back, right here. I would not touch the ground with your knee. You don't want to make a mistake and slam your knee. Okay, try and keep the knee behind the toes, always in line, and keep some space between the feet. You don't want a tightrope. Okay, so it's just stepping back. Now, another variation is the runner's lunge right here, stepping up, alternating feet. I'm looking down, I'm not looking up. You don't want to strain the neck, look down, up. Good. So you go the most difficult version to the easiest version. and you might just get a small lunge eventually if you're getting tired. You always want to stay in control, right? 30 seconds. Okay, then we do the handstand push-up. You can do it on the ground, so, coming down. There's the variation. If you're starting off difficult, there's the variation on the equalizer, right here, coming down. And when you get tired, you go into a related movement that is not so difficult. So for example, you could do up dog, down dog, right here, right here. Try and keep the elbows facing the ground. When you come to up dog, I find sometimes it helps to bend the knee, because if you go too far forward, sometimes it can be a little painful. So if that's the case, you can always bend the knee here. So you're in down dog. As you come forward, bend the knee and negotiate up dog. If you want to look up, you can. I don't like to. I like to look right there. Up as you come down, squeeze the glute, squeeze the butt. This saves the SI joints in the lower back. Boom. And squeeze the butt. Boom. And squeeze the butt. From here you can hold the plank. Or another variation from the handstand push-up, pike plank. Boom. Squeeze the butt on this one. 2. Squeeze the butt. And up. You can hold, or you can hold. There's also the knee variations. Lots of variations to make it harder and more difficult. Harder to easier for 30 seconds. All right, guys, cardio intervals, number 5. This one is the burpee with swimming backstroke. Now, the burpee is not for everybody, so I'm going to give you some variations. So the variation that I like to do is right here, jumping up. You'll notice how I'm landing from here. I'm landing nice and soft. Should be gentle. So if you're here and you're doing the jump, when you land, you want to land nice and gentle. You don't want to slam in the ground. It's one of the reasons why I don't do the jump personally. I want it to be gentle on the body. Now, if you have mobility issues where you find the movement difficult, there's some variations. So, you can just step up, left leg first back, then right first. Right back. Left first, left back, and then right. Okay, you can also do this. Okay, just be careful. It must be nice and light. For people with knee issues, I probably wouldn't do that. It's a lot in the knees. Now, if you want something light, you can always step forward, right leg, step forward, left leg, step back, left. Step forward, right, step back, right. Step forward, left, step back, left. Okay? You could also do your up dog, down dog that we did in the previous one. And you can just hold the plank. Hold the plank on the knee. All right. Now, we're going to couple that. That'll be 30 seconds. Straight into another 30 seconds. And it's going to be backstroke. Another swimming. Slight bend in the knee. A little arch in the back. Tuck the chin, looking straight down. If it gets much for the lower back, you can bend, or you can just come up and rest. If doing the backstroke is a little irritating, after a while you could then do your freestyle. You could even change it to one of the others. Okay, another variation is to do it standing. So there's no lower back stress. The idea is to keep going. Start difficult, move to easy, finish out your cardio interval. All right, guys, good. Cardio intervals 6. All right, this is going to be a mobility kick, front into a horse kick as the difficult movement, moving to the down dog rear leg lift. or one leg down dog. All right, so let's take a look at the mobility kick. 30 seconds, like this. If you want to make it harder, go faster. Now there are other ways to make it harder. Go slower, but with a releve, with a calf raise. So you're coming up on tippy toes. Boom. If this is difficult, you can always be near a wall, or if you have a chair or an equalizer, you can adjust the height. Boom. Right there. Good. And now you're going to a horse kick, which looks like this. Once again, you want to land soft. This is hard on the knees. Not for everybody and not for people with knee issues. Okay, you want to be nice and soft. Soft. And from there, moving into a alternating down dog rear leg lift. Okay? Another way to make it more difficult is to do this and try and raise one leg, which, as you can see, is a bit of a challenge. But you can get it right here. I would have a slight bend in that elbow, otherwise just bang it out. For cardio purposes, this is good. Variation of that. Holding on right here. And you can do rear leg raise. I like to actually get a bit of a rocking motion with the upper body. Up. Boom. All right, guys, enjoy. Cardio intervals, number 7. This is going to be the mobility kick, front diagonal, and it's going to be from there into the pullover plank and up dog, down dog. So, we just did the front mobility kick. Now it's going to be on the diagonal. I like to do it like this. Now, if you want to make it harder, you just go faster. Just be careful with this, though. This support leg sometimes gets pulled. When you go fast, the support leg gets pulled a little bit, and this lateral movement on the knee is not good. So I tend to go easy with this and just go with good form. Now you can try a releve, and I have to catch my breath. My balance. Good. Now from there, we're going to go into the pullover plank. So it looks like this, right here. Let's get elbows down, slightly bent. You can either walk the legs out, or you can walk the arms out. From here, you can be on the knees if you need to be. When it gets too difficult, then go into up dog, down dog. Make sure you squeeze the butt at the bottom here. Boom. And if you just want to, from here, if you want to just go into the plank, you can. There's also a variation that you can do on your knees like this, like a modified child's pose, yoga child's pose, which will stretch out that lat muscle. 30 seconds and 30 seconds. Enjoy. All right, guys, cardio intervals number 8. We're going to work some inners and outers and core. Starting with most difficult, right here. For 30 seconds. And then moving to something easier. You can use the equalizer right here. Just be careful of the support leg as you lift up. If you're not mobile enough, there's some lateral pressure on the knee. Not good. So just go easy. Make sure that supporting leg isn't being pulled out of place. Another way to do it, if you don't have the equalizer, you can be in down dog and you can get some side action. You can actually push back 45 degrees, or you can try go to the side like that. Another harder variation on the equalizer would be to do a pull hold and then lift at 1, 2, although not so conducive for cardio intervals. I would stick with this one right here. Now, working the inners, you could do variation of the bug right here. Easier is right here. Clean up. This is a little harder. Now, don't overarch. The iliopsoas can be strained, lower back pain, you don't want that. So try not to have too much space underneath. Think about the jaws of the ribs somewhat in. Okay? That's why I like to have my head up. You want the back slightly rounded rather than arched. Okay? There are some variations that you can do on the equalizer. You can do that pull hold, 1, 2. You can even come down and keep going. And then from there you could go into your bug. All right, guys, go at it. All right, guys, cardio intervals number 9. We are doing side-stepping squat and the alternating cross. All right, so how does it look? Coming down, take a step, and a step, and a step, and a step. You'll notice I'm not looking up. I like the neck and the spine in line. Okay, if possible, try and get this at least parallel with the ground, thigh parallel with the ground. If not, an easier version is not to be quite as low. And you're stepping across. Okay, how do you make that difficult? Well, you can step, step, come down and hold, step, step, hold. Obviously, if you're staying all on one level, that's pretty tough. 30 seconds of that, and we're going to go into the alternating cross plank. So it's right here. Okay, coming up. Now, people with shoulder issues, I probably wouldn't do this one. That socket rolling in as you open out probably is not going to be good. Now, you can do a variation of this. So you're right here in your plank, okay, and you put the leg down and you open out. Once again, I'm not that crazy about this one either. You need to keep the knee and the foot in line. That takes a lot of the pressure off that shoulder, but you have to be careful of this alignment. So just be careful of that. You would basically come here and then alternate and come out. Okay, what you can also do is you can also stack the feet, move back, stack the feet, move back. Now you could stack the feet and then open out. I prefer this. I think this is actually safer on the shoulder. So that you've got two hands engaged as you move over. It's safer on the shoulder, I think. All right. Now eventually, if you get tired, okay, you can just do the twist here like this. You can go from opening out, okay, whichever way you decide to do it. Okay, if you keep the feet still and then move, okay. And from here, then just go into the twist without lifting an arm up. All right, guys, enjoy. Cardio intervals number 10. This is the hamstring bridge with the double leg diagonal arc leg lift. So let's look at the hamstring bridge. We'll have to find the one that is most difficult for you. These are the variations. On the hands, on the forearms, right here, on the back, and you'll go from most difficult to easier to easier. From here, you could do both legs together on the back. You could also go slower. That would also work. Now, you alternate that with the arc lift. So you're on a diagonal, lifting up, place it on the other diagonal, right here. Make sure you don't want to be too arched. Somewhat rounded is good. Get it in the core. Okay, if that gets difficult, you can also just move across without doing an arc. You can also do lean back slightly, engage the core, one leg across while the other one remains stationary. If that's difficult, you can always support. Don't sink. Shoulders, shoulder blades down. Okay, you can do here. If that gets difficult, just make it a small move. Right there. All right, guys, go for it. Cardio intervals number 11. All right, let's take a look at bicycle or the mountain climber and mountain climber variations, and we're going to alternate that with swimming butterfly. So we go from most difficult to easiest. So for me, I like to use gliders and start off right here. Straight legs first. If I get tired, then I alternate. Sliding mountain climber. Now, if you don't have gliders, you can do, okay, don't do the bouncing, no bouncing, okay? You can see this is just lightly tapping or not touching at all. There's no jumping, okay? Variation, you can go to the side if you like. Now, if that gets tiring, stand up and just do knees up. Don't stomp down for pressure on the knee, okay? Think of the accent up, 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 up. Right, good. And we're going to do butterfly. So once again, tuck the chin, slight arch of the back, slight bend in the knee, okay? Boom. If that gets much, you could also do backstroke or do breaststroke, okay? Boom, boom. If it gets a little hectic, you can always bend the knee, or you can just stand up and do a shoulder roll. All right, guys, go for it. Cardio intervals number 12. Okay, that's going to be the karate back kick or the rear swing kick into the boat leg raise. So, looks like this. You'll see I'm looking straight down. I'm not actually too far away. I'm not coming up. I'm actually staying down. Back is level with the ground. Just pushing straight back. Okay. Variation. You can do it on here. You can also just do a swing kick on here. You can get a little bit more hip action. And the one I like is with a relevo. You're coming down, come up with a calf raise, right? So you come down, calf raise. Come down, calf raise. You can even get a hold and back. Hold and back. Another variation, if you don't have the equalizer, is just to do it on the ground, and down dog, right there. All right, and now take a look at the boat leg lift or leg raise, like this. You can do a variation holding on to the equalizer. You can scissor it. There's also a variation in out. And you can do it right here. Make sure you don't arch the back too much. Should be slightly rounded. Get it in the abs. Okay? Now, once again, you're doing 30 seconds and 30 seconds. If you're doing this one, okay, and you get tired, what do? Go into the lean back. You can go all the way down and all the way up. Try and think about looking at the ceiling, going up to the ceiling for a little bit, and then curling up. Okay? You don't want to curl too short. Come up, look at the ceiling, and then straight up. Make sure, okay, don't arch in this thing. You want to roll up. Okay? You come up off the ground. Okay, so looking at the ceiling, you're right here. But what you want to do is then you want to start looking and roll up right here. And you come down, I'm right here, and then I'm here. Okay, I can look at the ceiling, lift up my head and my shoulders, and then I start looking forward. Now, you can also just do a small movement. You can go halfway. You can just do a tiny movement. Just here, just so you can feel some tension. Keep going. Try to get to the 30 seconds. All right, guys. Go at it. All right, guys. Wow. We have reached the walkout section. This is walkout 1. Now, these are actually 60 seconds in length. If you're adventurous and you want to go a little longer, you can. Or if you're only able to do 20 seconds, for example, that's fine. Let's take a look at it. So, we're going to squat down, get close to the ground, walk out with the hands, into a plank, into a pullover plank, walking back, into a side plank cross, switching to the other side, and then making the legs a little wider, shoulder width or perhaps a little wider than that, and walking in. Make sure you engage the heels at the bottom and come up. Now you might need some blocks here or plates underneath the heel. Okay, as you come down, engage the ground right here into your pullover plank. Make sure the elbows are down, slight bend in the elbows, and you want those. The jaws of the ribs in somewhat, core engaged. Okay, then come back to the plank. You want to stack the feet, open out into side plank, come back, and stack the feet. Line up your blocks, and come back, engage the heels, and stand up. When you squat, make sure the knees and the feet are in line. When you're in your plank, right here, I would have a micro bend in those elbows. Now, if you just want to come to the plank and then come back, that's absolutely fine. If you just want to come down, touch the ground, that's fine. Okay, you can come out right here. Okay. If you want to just stack and then stack, that's fine. Walking back. Set up your feet and stand up. And that is walkout number 1. Try go 60 seconds. Enjoy. All right, guys, walkout number 2. Let's check it out. So we're going to do a hip hinge, coming over. Then you can do a supported forward fold, get to the ground, walk out into your plank. From here, get ready. You might even want to bend those knees a little bit more to get ready for you might even want to do a bear plank. Okay, so bear plank is right here, so you can actually just walk in. Okay, and you're doing one horse kick, and from here into down dog, lift, alternating legs. Then from here, come back into plank and walk into a forward fold. You can support the lower back by engaging here. They're not on the knee, right here. Come back up until you can slightly arch that back, chin tucked, and you know you're engaged. And from here, coming up. Now, there's different ways to make it a little more challenging. You can do straight arms right here, coming down. You can do transverse plane. You can do frontal plane work. Okay. Now, if you don't need to support, you can just go into your forward fold. If you need a support, you can. Okay. Other ways that you can make that more difficult is into the kickstand and come down. So it's more in this leg, the leg in front. Okay, and then when you engage with the ground, coming to your plank, bear plank. Okay, this, nice and soft. You don't want to land too hard. Okay, you don't have to do that. When you're in your plank, go to your down dog, right here. Elevate the leg, or not. So you can come right here, support. You can come down, support. If you just want to go into the plank, stay right here. Slight bend in the elbow. Okay. Don't let the body collapse. Engage the body. Okay, you want to have that hollow body. This way hollow. Okay, this way hollow. Right here. Not here. Right here. Okay. Another variation of this is hip hinge, forward fold, get a stretch, come down. Okay, you can do up dog. Sorry, this is down dog, up dog. Okay, make sure you squeeze the butt. And back. And squeeze the butt. Okay, in down dog, I like to have my elbows facing down somewhat. Okay? You'll notice powerlifters, they try and break the bar of the bench press. So you want to have that feeling. Okay? And when you're here, okay, when you come back, just have a slight bend in the knee. Okay? You want to try and get a stretch on those hammies. So from here, you can support or not support. Come here into the arch. You can do some work here. And then up. And that's a 60-second walkout. Okay, guys, enjoy. All right, guys, well done. We're going to finish off with a cool down and a stretch. How to get on the ground. You can go to a hip hinge and support, forward fold, into a plank, and just twist the body and you're on your butt. Alternatively, you can just do a chair squat pose. Chair squat down to here, engage the ground, one leg, and you're on the ground. All right. So I like to have just a slight bend in the knee. Think about going forward first and then fold over. You can hold the legs, you can hold the ankles, you can hold the feet. From there, come into butterfly. I'll face this side. Keep the shoulder blades down, the shoulders down. Tuck the chin. Curl the toes up. You can push from behind, or you can have the hands over holding the ankles. Legs out. Once again, toes up towards you. Shoulders down. You can push them back. You can go forward first and then down. Or if you want to hold the legs, you can. You can hold the feet. You can just use the weight of the body right here. Come to the side. You can push forward, then down. Hold the leg. Hold the foot. And other side. Forward and down. Foot over. Make sure the toes are towards you. Coming up. Stretching the glute. Shoulders down. If that's difficult, you can always lie back and get it. And from here, you can do a twist. Shoulders down, tuck the chin, pulling up from the crown of the head. switching out, other side. Make sure the toes are back this way, towards you. Shoulders down. And going for the twist. And right here, I like to get a tuck the hips, and then gently pull, stretching out the quadricep. For a variation, you can let it go and arch the back and pull. Let's try the other side. Right here, tuck, pull, and then you can let it go, arch the back and pull. From there, you can get up, 2 blocks, 1 leg, 2 leg, or you can do plank and step up. From here, stretching out the back and stretching out the chest. If you can't get your hands intertwined, just put your hands back like that. Open the chest. If you would like to hang over, you can. Okay, soft knees, slight bend in the knees. Let the neck go. You can let the arms go. Just be a rag doll. Here we're stretching out back of the leg, hamstring. And slowly roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Okay, let's get an arch. Let's get a back bend. So hands together. In this position, think if you can get just a little bit of a lift up first before you do the back bend. Very good. And same thing with the side bends. So you're right here. Okay, shoulders down, shoulders away from the ears. See if you can get just a little bit more of a lift. Hands closer to the sky. And then side bend. And up and over. All right, guys, well done. And thank you for coming to class today. I appreciate it. For those of you watching at home on video, we appreciate your support. And my name is Ross. This is 7-3 Bodyweight Blast. Take care. All right, guys.